Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. To start off with this look, I put in contacts and applied the Angel Veil primer. I then go in with the HD Photogenic Foundation and blend that all over my face and down my neck. I then grab the SFX cream colour in white. I lay down this colour so I get a better colour payoff while applying the shadows. And I put that all over my forehead, my temples and my cheeks. And I also blend that out with the foundation I just put on before to get a more smooth transition. I then go in with the Holographic Halo Cream Eyeliner and Killing It. And I place it just where I put the white. This doesn't have to be neat, we're not going for that look. I then grab the green shimmer shade from the Ultimate MultiFinish Electric palette. And again, I am just placing and blending. This is where you can go crazy and be as creative as you want. I then take the Ultimate Brights palette and I use the lilac, turquoise, yellow and the pink shade. And again, placing it just wherever I feel like it goes well. I'm then taking the duo Chromatic Illuminating powder in Twilight Tint and Lavender Steel and just going over everywhere. I've just placed the eyeshadows all over my mouth, like go crazy. And then I take the Cotton Candy Cream liner and the Killing It we used before and blend those down the sides of my nose and up towards my brow. And I also take them around the edges of my mouth and blend it out so it's kind of messy. And then we take that green shade we started off with from the Electric palette and just define the nose even more and blend it with the lilac colour from the Brights palette. Go back in and add more colours where I felt was needed. And then I go back to that electric palette with the green shade, and I start from my inner corner and throughout the first half of my crease. And then I take the pink shade on my lash line and smoke it out. This doesn't have to be neat. And then I take that illuminating powder in Lavender Steel and I just blend it all over the lid. Just blend it, blend it. And then I also take it under the eyes, on the chin, on the lips, all over the lips, the cupid's bow, you know, just everywhere. And then take the Faux white eyeliner in Seashell and put it on my waterline. I also take that same shade and I drag it through my eyebrow, just getting them really covered. I then take this spoolie and just give them a good comb through so they aren't all clumpy. And we're just going to repeat the process of laying down the white, blending it out, laying those shadows down and highlighting. And obviously you can pick the colours you want, but I really like my colour combo. It really came together the way I wanted it to and gave that really pastel, fairy kind of look. And you can never have too much highlighter, so just go crazy with it. I used the mix of the Twilight Tint and the Lavender Steel. And what do you know, we're just repeating the process. Laying down the white again, blending it out, putting the shadows and highlighting. I also go back in with that Twilight Tint in my inner corner, down my nose and on my cupid's bow. And now I'm applying the glitter primer and a mix of different glitters. I chose pink, greens, white circles, iridescent, like go big or go home, you know? And I'm going to repeat the process down my neck and on my shoulders as well. And I applied more of that primer and put on these iridescent little circles on my high points of my cheeks. I then applied the exposed false eyelashes and I put on the Holographic Halo stick in Arctic Crush. And obviously we need the Worth the Hype mascara on as well. And then I used the Duo Chromatic Shimmer Lip Gloss in Crushing It. And that is the cute fairy look, you guys. So, let's pop in a red contact lens, shall we? I go in with the Faux Whites liner in Linen and I trace out where I want the skin to be tiered. And then I take one of the lighter contour shades in the Contour and Highlight palette and I'm just going to go over where we traced with the liner. This is going to help us see where exactly we want the skin to be open and it's going to help us give a little bit of depth. I would also suggest drawing down on paper how you want your skin to look. That way you have a sort of reference picture for yourself. And then we take that white liner again and you're going to draw out where you want your candy to be. This doesn't have to be perfect, it's just so you can see the placement of the different shapes of candies you want. And then you're going to take the Ultimate Brights palette and choose your colors. I went with the pink, the blues, the greens and the yellows, just like around my face and on my neck and shoulders. You're just going to be laying down the base color, so this part does not have to be perfect. We're going to go in and deepen it up. When we're giving definition to the candy, you're going to go in with a deeper shade than its base color. So if you go in with a yellow, use an orange or a darker yellow to go in with the shading to give it more of a defined look. And we're going to go in with a highlight color later on. And I keep going back to the contour color and just giving more depth. This is a very back and forward process. And then go in with the Epic ink liner, and I try and draw a neat crisp line across the tears on the skin. And then after that, go in with a black shadow on that line and blend it inwards to get more depth and make sure it has a very nice fade. I then take the Faux white eyeliners in Seashell, Vanilla, Honeydew and Baby Powder, and I use them on their darker colors. So I used, for example, the Vanilla on the yellow and the Baby Powder on the blue. So we're just creating a more highlighted look for the candy, so it gives a more of a 3D look. So now we're going to be making the ripples in the skin as if the skin's been pulled a bit or stretched out. I'm just going to put a sharp line of that contour color, a few if you want, like I did, and then you're going to take the brush where you just laid that color and blend it out so it blends and fades into the skin. And then you're going to take one of the lighter colors in the contour and highlight palette, and you're going to put that right next to it, right next to the darkest point. So just where you had applied the contour shade, right next to it, apply the lightest color. My tip for this is to think wherever there's highlight, there is shadow, and vice versa. And I also take that seashell color and put it on the stringy bits of the skin to also highlight, and I go around where I just put that highlight color on the skin as well, just to give it a little oomph. And as you can see, I go back in with that black shade. I go back and forward many times, going back more with the shadow, more with the highlight, and I just keep repeating that until I'm happy with how it looks. I then go in with the white liquid liner on the sweets just to give that more highlighted look. Not sure where the footage has disappeared to, but I felt that my candy wasn't very pastel, so I ended up taking a white eyeshadow over the whole thing, all the candies, just to lighten it all a bit up. I go in with that Epic ink liner and go around that candy that's sticking out in my chest, and then I take the deeper contour shade and blend it out from the black to give that illusion that it's laying on top of my chest. I then go in with the Faux black liner in Oxblood, and I create these kind of like veiny, distressed kind of skin look. Just create like veins and then pat them out so they don't look so in your face, so that they look like they're under the skin. And I continue that all the way up to my eyes. Pat. And then I also take that shade in my waterline as well. And that's the finished look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and please pray and cross your fingers and your toes and any other body parts that I can get through to the next round. Thanks for watching again, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.